Ever heard the one about the 15-year-old? A piggy bank.
Oh,
And the free money revelation.
okay.
Might sound like the start of a joke, but this Reddit post, right? It's a surprisingly insightful look at the power of dividend investing. So today we're diving deep into a story titled, My Niece and Her Stonks from, let me see, our dividends.
Dividends, right on.
It's a charming anecdote, but stick with us because it perfectly illustrates how even small investments, right, they can grow significantly over time. So picture this, a teenager, right, who stumbles upon their relative researching stocks. This isn't just any teenager, though. This one's already a saver, diligently adding to her piggy bank. But as anyone who's discovered the potential of stonks knows, right, piggy banks, they kind of pale in comparison to the allure of, making money while you sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, while most kids her age might brush off financial talk, right, this particular 15-year-old, she is immediately captivated.
Interesting.
And why is that? Because her savvy relative, right, introduces her to the concept of dividends, that magical moment when your investments literally start paying you.
It's a beautiful thing.
Fast forward a bit, and this teenager is eagerly awaiting her first paycheck.
I love it.
She even asks her relative to review her stinkwise.
She's hooked, huh?
The payout, a grand total of 57 cents.
Whoa, big money.
57 cents might not sound like much, but her reaction, priceless. My stonks gave me free money. They really gave me free money. It's that pure, unadulterated joy of watching your money work for you.
Absolutely.
It's easy to chuckle at her enthusiasm, right? Over what seems like a tiny amount. But I think it reveals a deeper truth about investing. What do you think?
You're spot on, I think, this seemingly insignificant sum of 57 cents. It offers a powerful glimpse into the magic of compound interest. It's not just about the initial amount. It's about the potential for growth over time.
Exactly, and her excitement.
Yeah.
Contagious, isn't it? You can't help but get swept up in the idea of free money.
Absolutely. But beyond the initial thrill, this story, it highlights a critical aspect of financial literacy that often gets overlooked, I think. Like, it sparks a conversation about the importance of understanding these concepts early on,
Which is something a lot of people in the Reddit community, they really resonated with.
Precisely. Many commenters express regret for not learning about investing sooner, emphasizing the need for greater financial literacy, especially among younger generations.
Okay, before we dive into those comments, I kind of want to take a step back for a second.
Yeah.
We keep throwing around the phrase compound interest, but I think it's worth unpacking what that actually means, especially for those who might be new to this.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's one thing to get excited about free money, but it's another to, really grasp the mechanics behind it.
Right.
So imagine this, okay? Instead of a piggy bank, you have a field.
Okay,
And on that field, you plant a money tree.
I'm intrigued. Dividend-bearing money trees. I like where this is going.
So you plant your tree, right? That's your initial investment.
Okay.
The dividends are like the fruit this tree produces. Now, you could pick the fruit, enjoy that immediate reward, and leave it at that. But, and here's where it gets really interesting, what if instead of just eating the fruit, you took some of those seeds, those dividends, and planted them?
Okay.
You'd grow even more money trees,
Yeah.
right?
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
Exactly.
So every time those new trees bear fruit, you reinvest those dividends,
Yep.
and you plant even more trees.
Yeah,
It's like a snowball effect, but with money trees instead of snow.
exactly. That's the essence of compound interest.
Okay.
By reinvesting those dividends, you're essentially enabling your money to make more money, which then makes even more money, and so on. It creates this powerful cycle of growth.
And the more trees you have, the more fruit or dividends they produce. So over time, even if you started with just one small sapling, you could end up with this entire orchard generating significant returns.
Right.
This makes the 15-year-old's excitement over 57 cents even more understandable.
Absolutely.
She intuitively gets that this is just the beginning.
Precisely. And it highlights how critical it is to start early, even with small amounts, because time is the secret ingredient in this equation.
Right.
The earlier you plant those metaphorical trees, the more time they have to grow and multiply.
Which brings us back to the Reddit community's reaction. They weren't just touched by the story. Many were lamenting their own lack of early financial education.
Yeah.
Do you remember that comment that said, "Wished someone taught me about stonks when I was 15? Turns out you really don't need calculus for everyday life, but a little stock market knowledge would have gone a long way."
Oh, yeah. It's a sentiment echoed by many in the thread.
Yeah.
There's this collective realization that financial literacy isn't just for, Wall Street hotshots.
Right.
It's a fundamental life skill.
And what's fascinating is that the uncle in this story doesn't just explain these concepts to his niece. He takes it a step further.
Right. He mirrors his own investments in her account,
Yeah.
essentially giving her a front row seat to observe his strategies and decision making.
It's like he's saying, I'm not just telling you about the power of investing, I'm showing you.
Exactly. He's modeling the behavior, highlighting the importance of long-term thinking, and demonstrating a commitment to her financial well-being. It goes beyond just giving her a head start. It's about fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation for financial responsibility.
And that seems to be resonating with the Reddit community as well.
Yeah,
Many are praising him for his approach, calling it, like, parenting done right.
right.
But while his gesture is certainly commendable, it also raises some interesting questions. For example, what if you didn't have someone to guide you through the world of investing?
That's a great point. Not everyone has a personal finance guru in their lives, but that doesn't mean you're out of luck.
Right.
In fact, the accessibility of information today, it's a game changer.
So where do you even begin? Especially with so much information out there, it's easy to feel overwhelmed.
Sure.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start investing but doesn't know where to begin?
Well, first, remember this. You don't need to be a financial expert to get started.
Okay.
There are plenty of resources available to help you learn the basics.
And while we're on the topic of resources, we'll share some of our favorites in the show notes for those who are interested. But for now, let's keep exploring this fascinating discussion. A lot of people, right? They seem intimidated by investing,
Yeah.
like it's some exclusive club,
Yeah.
right? With a secret handshake and everything.
Right.
But the truth is, it's more accessible than ever.
Absolutely. There are tons of online platforms, educational resources, even apps, right? Designed to demystify investing for beginners.
So instead of being intimidated, maybe we should be asking ourselves, like, what are we waiting for?
Exactly. And that brings us to another crucial point highlighted in this Reddit post.
Right.
The danger of procrastination. Many commenters were kicking themselves for not starting sooner, emphasizing, the opportunity cost of delaying.
It's that whole, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now situation.
Precisely. And the beauty of compound interest is that it rewards consistency and patience.
Right.
You don't need a windfall of cash to get started.
Right.
Even small, regular contributions can add up significantly over time thanks to that snowball effect we discussed.
So what would you say to someone who's listening to this, right? Thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I even begin?
I'd say start by defining your goals.
Okay.
What are you saving for? Retirement, a down payment on a house. Once you have a clear objective, then you can explore different investment strategies tailored to your timeline and risk tolerance.
And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are financial advisors out there who can offer, personalized guidance. But even if you decide to go the DIY route, the key takeaway here is simple. Don't let fear or procrastination keep you from taking that first step.
Absolutely. This Reddit post, right? While lighthearted on the surface, it serves as a powerful reminder that financial literacy and the magic of compound interest, they aren't just abstract concepts.
Yeah.
They're tools that empower us to shape our future.
It's a compelling case for why we should all embrace our inner Stonks enthusiast, regardless of our age or background, because even small steps, taken consistently, they can lead to significant long-term gains.
I agree.
And who knows, maybe someday someone will be sharing your story on Reddit, inspiring others to embark on their own investment journey.
I like it.
Until next time, keep diving deep, stay curious, and remember, the best time to start investing your future is always now.